What is going on? This is the King and Doc podcast. It is your boy, the Blunt Doctor, with my man, King Hooley, fresh off of Family Time, the ultimate
What's
family
the
man.
word?
King Hooley, what's going on, baby?
Chilling, baby. Back. Happy to be back, sitting in this chair, man, doing this show with you, bro. Definitely some family time spent, well spent. My daughter's been here for the past couple of weeks. Visited me from out in Vegas. She's leaving on Saturday. My heart's gonna hurt so bad, and I'm gonna miss her so much. Watched a lot of Walking Dead, man. I caught up on that show. Didn't realize how good that show was, man. I guess I'll finish that while she's gone. I don't know. I might save it. I might save it for her.
Man, I'm about the only person in the world that bailed on Walking Dead in season 2. I got so goddamn tired of that show.
No way. No, I mean, once you get past all like the gore and the guts and whatnot, bro, it's not a bad show.
That's fine. I don't even care about that. I just get tired of which character do I like is gonna die this week.
That right there, bro. I don't like that part of it.
Yeah. It's like, hey, which person do I enjoy watching is gonna get bit on the arm, and then I have to find someone new to root for. Yeah, I'm not. I couldn't do it with Walking Dead.
That part kind of sucks.
Yeah,
because you do get well invested in some of these characters, and then they get bit.
Tyrese was. I couldn't.
I just watched that one. That hurt my heart, bro.
I tried again because everyone I knew loved it. I tried again, and when they got Tyrese, I was like, I am done with this shit. I was like, I am not watching this anymore. I'm going to another room. Tyrese was my guy.
No. I was like, no. He can't die. He can't do this right now, man. We can't have Tyrese. That one shocked me.
Yeah,
that was. I know there's one that I'm kind of anticipating already, whatever. So I'm kind of like, and I'll go ahead and I'm pretty sure some people have already seen it. But with Glenn, you know what I mean? Because his shit was a meme. So everybody saw it all over the place. So like, I think SNL spoofed that scene.
Yeah.
With Dave Chappelle. So it's kind of that one. So I'm kind of like, every time I was like, yeah, all right, Glenn, he's a good dude. I feel like he's gonna die in a certain scene, or I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna live. So
that's the thing about memes, though, man. It's like, for me, if you care about something, you must watch it immediately when it comes out, or memes will ruin it for you. Like that's where we're at. Like,
dude. 100%. I can't stand that. That's another part, right? So, like, hey, shout out to the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. Shout out to Jay, to Logan, to Frankie the Yankee. Shout out to those guys. But let me talk shit about one of you guys specifically, and I'm gonna say Frankie the Yankee. I know he's gonna watch this show, right? But I live on the West Coast, right? And I'm a huge WWE fan, and so is he. But he will ruin things. It's like I catch everything on a delay. So Mondays not that bad since it's moved over to Netflix. I kind of watch it with the rest of everybody else, you know what I'm saying? But Fridays, bro, I can't pick up my phone as soon as I know it's 8:00 over there, because he would tell everything that happens in every match, and I'm like, man, this is gonna ruin for me.
Yeah. The one, yeah. Yo, man,
never watch backwards. I got to get through it first. I might do that. That's an interesting take.
You got a Benjamin Button, The Walking Dead. I like that. You can't go for it. It got too depressing. I don't know. Like I'm trying to have a good time when I watch shows, just because life is depressing enough. I don't need this is the thing. Because you know what? And because we wanted to talk about the Oscars, let's cue that up. Because here's the thing about the Oscars, man. And I just feel like it's gotten to a point where, like, we're supposed to talk about, like somebody on Reddit was making the point about, like, how big of a deal The English Patient was when it came out, and Seinfeld did a whole episode about The English Patient, and now nobody could give a fuck about The English Patient. But in Oscar years, we have to pretend we care about these movies so much.
Dude, a lot of these movies that win, I have no clue what they are.
I've never even heard of them.
I've never even heard of them. Like, and it goes back to like all of them, except for that one. What was that? I don't know if it was last year. The one Everywhere, Nowhere, Somewhere, Same Place, whatever that movie was.
Yeah.
The wife and I went to go check that movie out. Like, I don't know. She said she saw it, or someone had told her it was a good movie. I fell asleep through the whole thing, but like as I'm waking up and watching that movie, there's like so much shit going on, like weird shit goes on. So I have no clue what the premise was, and I think she was falling asleep on it. And I was like, I remember going back to the car. I was like, hey, did Jamie Lee Curtis have like hot dogs for fingers? And she was like, yeah. I was like, do you know what that was about? And she was like, no. We were so confused. It won big.
It's a good movie, but that movie is good. But I will admit at this point that I learn about like Oscar winning films from the Oscars. That is how fucking, but here's the thing, dude. I go to the movies. We did an episode about how I have fucking A-list and go to the movies. Yeah. And yet somehow I am still completely missing these entire, because I don't know what it is, dude. Like just indie films, they're not advertised, they're not promoted. Like, I don't know, like, but somehow they're like, oh, Anora, this movie about a sex worker. I'm like, all right, cool. I can rock with that. Let's tell me more. I've never even fucking heard of it. Like,
I know. And like, it's the best movie. So I'm like, okay. I didn't watch the Oscars. Not by like not like I'm protesting it or anything like that. But like, I just it's Sunday night and like, oh shit, the Oscars is on. I guess I missed a great chunk of it. Whoops. But damn, I almost forgot the point I was making. But shit. Yeah, I did. I forgot the point I was making. Go ahead, buddy. It'll come to me.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke marijuana. No, listen, I don't really care about the Oscars. The only reason I paid attention to anything going on this year is because of Conan hosting. Because I do think that we've reached a point with the Oscars where we're completely, like, people in Hollywood are up their own ass about it. And I'm not trying to say, like, oh, Hollywood is so liberal. I'm not that dude. I'm progressive as fuck. But I'm saying, like, there are, like how is, like, okay, Oppenheimer won Best Picture last year. Fine. That's a movie that a billion people saw that I refuse to saw because fuck Chris Nolan. But like that's the one time in the recent instance that I can think of a movie that was famous that won an Oscar, and it had to have like 100 actors in it that we all know.
Right.
You know, you have Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, Matt Damon. There's so many people in it, and that's what it takes to get like a major studio movie considered is that every single actor in Hollywood is in it, unless it's a Marvel movie. Of course, then we wouldn't even consider those. But I'm at a certain point where it's just like, shouldn't people going to see a movie have some bearing on whether or not it's a good film? Like Top Gun Maverick, for example. Everybody loved that movie.
Yeah,
the reviews were universal. Not even considered for a thing like Best Picture. It made $1 billion. Like
that's crazy.
Barbie, like that should be considered. Like these movies that are major studio films that everyone loves. It shouldn't always. I shouldn't always be fucking shocked who wins. So I don't know. The most entertaining thing that happened in the last 2 years of the Oscars is Will Smith smacking the shit out of Chris Rock. So
it saved the theaters.
Top Gun did save theaters. That's facts.
Top Gun was a really good movie.
Yeah,
that was a really good movie, and you know, for being Tom Cruise being as old as he is,
Tom Cruise is my man. I fucking love Tom Cruise. I don't care about Scientology. I fucking love Tom Cruise. I don't give a fuck. The thing about the Oscars, I mean, Conan's monologue was great though. That is the one thing. Like Conan is always funny. Like Conan's fucking, his podcast is amazing. He's the greatest late night host of all time. And putting him at the Oscars is perfect because it's a bunch of people he's interviewed, but he's not necessarily one of their peers because he's not an actor. So it's easy for him to take jabs. And dude, halfway through, he comes out and says, you know, this is halfway through the show, and this is the point where Kendrick Lamar is going to come on stage and tell Drake that he's a pedophile. And I was like, oh man, Drake, like this dude cannot stop catching strays. Like
everybody's doing it now.
Yeah. Well, and he still had that week. Well, you were right, because after we said that whole discussion, I said Drake's going to fall off as a major artist, and then he had set a streaming record immediately. So his fans are
they love him.
Streaming his shit on loop.
Yeah, they love him. Sure they try to. Yeah, they were like, you know, we'll never let that happen to you again, Drake. And he's like, guys, let me move on from this. Like, please, like, no, Drake, you're the better lyricist, you're the better champion, you're gonna go back in there, you're gonna fight. And Drake is like, nah, I just want to go to WWE Elimination Chamber and please, like, just leave me alone. And they're like, no, Drake, we're gonna listen to Hotline Bling 300,000 times. Everyone is committed to it, right, guys? And everybody's like, yeah.
Do you get the feeling they're just gonna start following him around and being like, Drake is not a pedophile. Drake is not a pedophile.
100%.
Drake, and then that's
and
like,
like,
please
okay,
stop. You're only making them think about the fact that I've been accused.
Right.
And this is the thing. That's the thing that drives me crazy about that is, from what I understand, what he texted Millie Bobby Brown or something when she was on Stranger Things, and apparently he brought a girl on stage not knowing she was 16 and kissed her or something. Like, these are the like I'm surprised that he hasn't sued over the pedophile thing, because like he's suing over everything else, and like that's what makes me wonder what's out there.
According to him, his people fed that information to Kendrick, so it was information that was leaked from Drake's camp that he was a pedophile, because Drake knew that Kendrick was going to use that against him. Man. That's and it sounds like Drake fan shit, but that's true shit. That's some shit. That's a theory I've heard. Or wait, he put it in a song.
How is Drake the most common topic on this podcast?
I have no clue. No clue.
That is the one true thing.
I think we were real life Drake fans. I think we like Drake. And you know what? And his music is good. I'm not just saying like he's trash. I would never tell anybody he's trash, but it's just funny to me.
I can name 2 of his songs. I really don't. I'm old. Like, any of these debates have to factor in the fact that I am 100% an old man. So any of these discussions, it needs to be validated.
Back to back. Maybe we should do a top 10 Drake songs.
I wouldn't need, what's the what's the one he did with the guy where he said the thing? I'm literally like a grandpa at that point. Yeah. I'd be Googling, just like naming random songs. I'm like, my favorite Drake song is Drake Mix Volume 2. Oh, no. That's a YouTube video. Sorry, my bad.
Hey, you know what? I know a couple of them. They're not that bad. But like,
I'm sure he's got good music.
Like,
there's no way that
I like Drake with the melodies. You know what I'm saying? I don't like Drake.
But there's no way he's as popular as he is.
No.
Without being like having some shit that's valid. I can acknowledge that. I'm just saying, stop beefing with real rappers. Bad idea.
Hey, back to back was tough though. Back to back was tough.
Yeah,
he had some bars in it. I don't know if he wrote them.
Well, you can see. Okay, yeah.
I don't know if he wrote them.
Like, why are we even talking about this?
I don't know. Why are you talking about that? Let's go back. Hey, who was your favorite host? Has Drake done this? Hasn't Drake been the host of the Oscars?
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think he's those.
Who's been your favorite host of the Oscars?
I love Conan. I'm not trying to go with recency bias. It's just that Conan is a dude that I love thoroughly. So I think he was amazing. I also thought Robin Williams was good, even though the sound that night was horrible. Those are the ones that I kind of think of. But again, that's because like I really kind of default to comedians. And so I really do sort of prefer those who, and I know that Robin Williams is also a movie star, but I like people who are more willing to kind of make jokes. So there we go. So yeah. So even Drake is acknowledging that some of I feel like I remember that. I feel like I remember
that too.
But the thing I remembered about the Robin Williams one is he said one of my favorite jokes ever, which was 50 Cent wanted to be here tonight, but he couldn't get through the metal detector. Which is hilarious for 3 reasons. Number 1, because he's carrying guns. Number 2, because he's named 50 cent coins. Number 3, because he's been shot so many times, he's got shrapnel. That joke is funny on 3 fucking levels, and everybody ignored it like it was a dad joke, and it was not.
No, it was pretty funny.
That one I loved.
That was pretty funny.
What about you?
Up until he got slapped, Chris Rock, man. Chris Rock's one of my favorite comedians, and I think he was pretty funny. Even the joke that led him to get slapped was very funny. So much so funny that Will Smith, the guy who slapped him, laughed at it.
Yeah. My only thing is, the only reason I don't list Chris Rock is because that movie almost got Bad Boys 4 canceled. Or that event almost got Bad Boys 4 canceled. And I love Bad Boys so much that I think about it negatively, even though it's really kind of funny as shit. It's
bad. Which one? Bad Boys 4?
No, Chris Rock getting slapped.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
that was funny.
He stood in and took that shit like a quarterback.
And Will Smith's a big dude, man.
Yeah.
And Chris Rock, if you've seen him, he is not.
And there's no way for him to know that wasn't a punch.
Right.
Like he like Chris Rock, man, respect. You know, I don't respect the G.I. Jane 2 joke, not because it was mean because she has alopecia, but just because it's fucking 2023 or whatever. You don't need to make a joke about a movie from 92. Let's get going, Chris Rock. Cycle up the
I guess it could have been funny on different levels. He could have been, you know how they were making reboots at that point in time, too.
It's true.
Everywhere.
It's true.
G.I. Jane 2 reboots.
I am at the point though, like with all these award shows and all these things, like, you know, if I was going to a party, like an Oscars party where I could get drunk and eat cookies that someone baked or something, I might be interested in it. But other than that, it's just going to be something I'll watch clips of on YouTube the next day. I'm never going to sit and watch actors give their, you know, their speech for best whatever.
Oh, I don't have it in me. No one says anything cool. You know, you say a bunch of names you don't know. I want to thank Patricia in makeup, and I want to thank okay, Patricia at home. Like, yes, thank you.
I want to thank the people that helped me. It's like, good, do that. You should do that. Then, like,
you should do that. Yeah, yeah. You should do that. I don't understand why people do all that. You know what I mean? Just get there, say, hey, man, appreciate the award. You know, it was this, and third. Like, it is just like some second rate award, really. You know what I mean?
I did like when Michael Moore won.
The Kids' Choice Award, thanking God and your mom. Like, no, just you thank them little kids. Think get out of there. Yeah. Why are you thanking your guy for Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award?
Yeah, they need to start sending Will Smith on stage to slap people when their speeches get too long.
There we go.
You know,
there we go. Bingo.
Adrian Brody, coming for you.
Here's Will Smith.
Connected. Will Smith slapped Adrian Brody at 1:58. If your prop bet was under 1:59, you win.
I know. We could use that when we get our what's the bet dog, whatever the damn app. I can't think of it. Prize Picks. We get our prize picks.
Yeah, over on how many minutes before someone gets smacked at the Oscars. I like it.
I mean, hey, how long before King Hula forgets what he's talking about in the King of Dog podcast? Only on Prize Picks. Under 5 minutes pays you what?
Over 1.5. Over 1.5 lost trains of thought. Let's go.
Hey, spring training is here.
Oof.
Are you excited?
No. I think that the Red Sox organization is completely clueless.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't understand anything they've done. Trading Mookie Betts was the dumbest thing in the world. And it put a curse on us that I don't know that will ever come off. So Red Sox baseball at this point is just sort of like, I don't know. It's better than Suns basketball, I guess. Here's the thing. I got 7 Super Bowls from Tom Brady. I am now doomed to lose everything that I care about. I also got a Michigan National Championship. I have 8. Actually, I had the 98. I have 9 football championships. I'm never getting shit again from baseball or basketball. It's over. It's over for me.
For the rest of your life?
It's over. It's done. Yeah, I'll be like 70 and the Suns will finally win. How do you feel as a Yankees fan? Are you hyped? Are you miss out on Juan Soto?
I'm always optimistic when it comes to baseball because like the score is 0-0. You know what I'm saying? At the beginning of the season. You know what I mean? So being a Yankees fan for as long as I've been alive, been able to think back. You know what I mean? There's that expectation that we have. This or bust, championship or bust, championship or bust. So to me, as a fan, yes, 28 is on the way. As a sports podcaster, for those of you out there right now, go make sure you check out Truth Be Told Sports Podcast on YouTube and also on Facebook, Instagram, all that cool stuff, TikTok. But as a sports podcaster, said it's made me, become very objective to certain things. This season, I think we'll win the East. I don't know about the pennant, and if we get in that chance to get the chance to play the Dodgers again in the World Series, I'm hoping everything is scripted and they give it to the Yankees.
Do you want them to trade for Guerrero? Because I don't want the Red Sox. The thing is, the Red Sox are so thin. The Red Sox have done a good job of rebuilding the farm system. The farm system was depleted. It's better, but I still don't want them to go dump it out for a player that could still theoretically leave in free agency. I want them to just go pay him. And I know he's not going to get, Soto money or anything. He's a good player, but he's going to get a big chunk of money though. He's going to get Manny Machado money. And I'm curious if you care about that for the Yankees or
I think
it's funny because it affects us both so much because it's a player in division and our teams are division rivals. Like,
right. So it's like, he's a great player. He's a phenomenal player, man. Like, I think he would definitely improve us, offensively and saying the defense. He has a really good glove too. You know what I mean? So it's just like, what do we give up for him? You know what I'm saying? It depends on that because if they go at the pitching, like we're finally building like something, have a rotation, a decent rotation this season. We're finally, bolstering our bullpen. If you chip away at that, that's like working against us. You know what I mean? Like we have hella bats if that's the issue, but we need, we need defense and we need middle relief. We need, we need that type of stuff that's gonna push us over the edge.
And that's the thing for the Red Sox is any sort of trade that, gives up because they keep, we keep making these, major free agency signings and it's like, yeah, okay. Right. But then like, look what happened with Story. Now I've done it again and it's fine. You do what you do, but if we go dump all of our prospects to bring in Guerrero and you put him and you're like, all right, now we've got 2 star players.
All right.
I just don't. You're sacrificing the future again, and they can't do it. And I just think it's the right thing for them to try to sign him outright. But I think it's going to be interesting because I don't think that if you're Toronto, you haven't had any opportunity signing dudes in free agency. I mean, they've extended some of their own guys, but they haven't won. They lost on Shohei Ohtani. They lost on Juan Soto. They lost on everyone. No one chooses to go to Toronto. So if you put a situation where Vladdy is on the free agent market and you're asking him to choose Toronto, I just don't think you can do it. So they need to trade him.
Right. Agreed.
Like they need to, I think it has to be done. So, it's going to be whoever, it's got to be a team that has a good farm system because I just don't think it makes sense for anyone to, I guess Toronto could want major leaguers. They were so good and things have fallen apart so quickly for the Blue. This happens to them all the time. They build these teams every few years that are good and they're so close to being on the cusp and then everything just falls apart and they have no ability to maintain anything. And now you're losing your homegrown superstar yet again. To trade him to the Yankees, I would assume they would require an exorbitant package because you don't want to just give him to you or the Red Sox too. They're not going
to. You don't want to give it to a division rival like on a platter, So you kind of want to take something back from him.
And the Dodgers don't have any prospects left
right there. But you kind of want to make it worth it.
Like a team, I would think that would be like again, like the Braves, the Dodgers, the teams that you would expect to make big moves. Like they don't really have the prospects to pull off something like this anymore. It's Philadelphia, they're in on everything. Like it's going to be interesting to see. But that's when I think about baseball right now. That's literally where I'm at, though. Like, I'm already looking at next season's free agency because I just don't buy what the Red Sox are selling. I'm past. I mean, the thing is, again, in my life as a Red Sox fan, the 04 ALCS, the 03 comeback against the Yankees, we've now won more World Series in my lifetime than, or in at least the last few years, than the Yankees have. Like, everything has gone so well for the Red Sox. They have now finally fallen back into sort of being the fucking Red Sox, the bottom of the division Red Sox.
Where they belong. Where they belong.
Hey, it's been 16 years for you, buddy. So
hey, it's all good. As long as the
Dodgers aren't going anywhere.
I'm cool. I'm cool with anybody. If Boston wins that shit, I'm fucking depressed. Fuck that. They don't deserve anything.
That's what I feel about Ohio. Like, I know Ohio won the national championship, but I'm like, you're only the national champion of 49 states, baby. You didn't beat us. You haven't beat Michigan in 4 years. That national championship doesn't mean dick.
Yeah. Fuck Boston.
It does not mean dick. That's how I feel about that one. I stand by that shit.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things Michigan fans are doing is they keep going and finding Ryan Day. And you're like, Coach, we're champions. Can we get a selfie? And then they take a video. They're like, we beat you 4 in a row. And he gets all mad.
Michigan fans are very salty, man. They are definitely, but counting the days has been since Ohio State's beat them. Reminding them every time, you know what I mean?
I should have a
national championship is cute, but you still haven't beat us in this many days. So I think that's.
I should have one of those chalk boards on my wall. Like, we haven't.
Ohio put that right there. Hey, put it.
I won't even refer to them. I will not even refer to them by their real name. They're Ohio to me. I don't care what they say. I don't care how they refer to their university. They're Ohio to me, and they always will be.
The Ohio State. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Ohio University. That's what they are.
Hey, how do you feel about AI? Not Allen Iverson.
I love Allen Iverson.
Yeah,
Allen Iverson is my dude.
Yeah.
No, the AI art thing. This is where, because we're talking. Well, I won't reveal that, but I number one, I hate AI art. I think any AI that was, let me rephrase. Any AI that was trained on publicly available data, that's theft. You're stealing other people's intellectual property and training your computer model on it. That's how I feel. And the reason that matters is because those people put work into it and they deserve to be compensated. I don't think the issue is necessarily that AI can create art. I don't think that that's a problem, though. I don't understand why we want robots to do art for us. That's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
But the issue is that you're training it on data stolen from other people. Just because I post something on the internet does not mean you have the right to use it. And that's the issue with these AI models, is that everything they do is trained on something they were not given. They stole it. That's my problem.
I get you.
You said you don't have an issue with AI, though, right? You're pro AI tools.
Yeah, I like AI like tools. As far as tools, like, yeah, it gets too much. I understand your point. I don't like the what they did to Taylor Swift. That shit. I think that's so I think that's a bit much when you try to do that. As far as being art, you're absolutely right. Like, stealing that is wrong. I like it for just practical reasons as a as a human, because it's cool to me. You know what I'm saying? To be able to just talk to some automated being and it respond back, and like, even though I can go outside and talk to a person and whatever, but like, you don't know how to fucking make a risotto, you know what I'm saying? So let me holler at Gemini and let's walk through this process, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think AI is cool, like, as far as like creating yourself, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it has utility. I just think it's like you said, like, the deep fake thing is a problem.
Yeah,
like,
that's the problem.
Like, using AI to, super accurately create quickly, these videos, faking people doing things, that shit is wrong. And it's a gigantic problem, because every day it's going to get more and more difficult to sort of disprove those things.
That's just creepy to me, bro.
Well,
that's creepy to me. Like, even the Donald Trump one. Did you see the Donald Trump one with Elon Musk like toes? Like,
I mean, that shit was pretty funny. I gotta be honest.
It was pretty funny, but that shit's creepy as shit to me.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Well, the good news about it is that because they keep stealing data, now AI, they're starting to train on their own data, which means AI are learning from AI, and eventually that creates a cycle that collapses on itself, because you can't learn information that was already like you can't scrape original information from something that was learned by AI, and so it creates a loop that collapses on itself. That's my hope for the future of most AI, because I agree. Like, I understand the utility of certain things. There's this dude on Instagram who basically created his own fucking Iron Man Jarvis thing. He's got a couple of 3D printers and he's got like a projector, and basically he talks to the thing. He calls it Jarvis, and it creates shit. It does all this thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. Shit, I understand.
I'm a nerd like that. You know what I'm saying?
I understand the utility behind that. What I'm saying is that, like, when you are when how you're training that AI is on, you know, completely stolen data, that's my problem. It's just that because by default a language model does not know how to do art,
right?
So it's taking humans' art that was created, running it through a process that copies the, you know, the what this is like, and then it pumps out garbage that has no soul. I mean, I don't know what the point of AI art is. People like, look at this badass thing I created. I'm like, what? Even it doesn't represent anything.
Yeah. And honestly,
people don't understand that the point of art is to create something that has a purpose, that has a soul, to tell a story.
Right.
Telling an AI like make a cool painting. That's not like that's what these people do. Yeah. Like I changed the settings though. I changed the contrast. And like,
give
me a cool picture of an alien.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah. That's
fuck ChatGPT. And yo, listen, let me tell you something. You ever ask someone a question and they respond with, "Let's plug your question into ChatGPT," punch that person in the fucking face and then talk. This whole thing, dude, people are like replacing their own personality with ChatGPT, and this shit is moronic. So many people at the school that I go to right now have been failed out of classes because these morons don't understand that AI does not give accurate information, and they turn in these papers that are not only completely bullshit and flawed, but like have a paragraph in the middle that has nothing to goddamn do with anything.
That's funny. That's funny.
People are morons. It makes me look good, so it's okay.
Hey, yeah. Keep shining, buddy. Keep shining.
Yeah.
It's like how you do it.
With my B and B plus.
Yeah, hey, you said a B and a
shine on.
Hey, keep doing it, bro. Hey, you doing it.
That's straight B's. They call me Buzz.
Anyway. Hey man, you want to do a top 10?
Let's do this top 10. And that was the one other reason that I wanted to mention this AI. Why don't you tell them what the top 10 list is? Because this conversation leads into it.
Top 10 comic book movie villains.
And if you use AI to create your comic book movie villain, you're a bitch. Let that be known.
There you go. Yeah.
That shit should be computer drawn by a person using Blender or Unreal or any of the other shit. There's so many fucking ways to animate your own stuff. Use your goddamn hands. Use a computer. Don't ask the computer to generate the shit for you. Don't
Does it look badass enough?
Bitch.
No. Try again. Try again.
No, I'm with you though. We should. That's what AI should be contained to, things like Jarvises, like little robots.
Yeah.
That do our bidding.
Yeah.
That don't try to write books for us. I don't need your screenplays. Go wash the kitchen. Go wash my car. Top 10 comic book movie villains. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Number 10. Number 10 to me, very good comic book villain himself, you know, standalone, especially recently with the show Gotham, and then there was the Max show about the Penguin. But the Penguin, I had to go for like with a movie, but the Penguin was like from Batman Returns. Even Danny DeVito's version of the Penguin was pretty badass. But I really like the Penguin. Just, you know, hard-nosed dude who means well, but he's just a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know the interesting thing about the Penguin is, you know, he's sort of an inverted character from Batman, because you know Batman is sort of like the good that can happen from childhood tragedy, and Penguin is like the bad that can happen from childhood tragedy. Right. And it's depending on the version of the Penguin. There's a few different ones, but the point is, like, I agree with you. I think Penguin is a badass character. And one thing I like about Penguin is what you just mentioned, like Danny DeVito's portrayal versus Colin Farrell's portrayal. We're talking about so completely different,
yeah.
But bringing the same kind of energy, like in terms of like you said, like the
grittiness, man, and like they're just like that. They mean well. You could tell, that you could tell they were formerly good people or try to be good people, but they just do dastardly things.
No, I agree. I thoroughly enjoy
big time like manipulators.
Yes, and that's and one thing about there's big time villains that are trying to destroy the entire world and blah blah blah. Sometimes it's nice when the villain is like, I'm like Penguin is trying to control the neighborhood, or trying to attack Batman. Like it's more specific. It's nailed down. I don't know. It just kind of works. Like I agree.
See, I don't think like he's not even trying to. He's not like trying to exactly. He's not trying to control the world, and I like that about him. He's just trying to control like what he has, like his little chunk of his little piece in this world. He wants that to be his.
Yeah.
Batman comes through, from time to time and fuck shit up, and he has to go in and like try to do something to Batman to quit him from doing that. I don't think he wants like global expansion and this and that, that type of thing. But definitely, he wants to love his neighborhood.
I'm with it.
You know what I mean?
That's a great choice for number 10, Penguin.
Number 9.
I'm with that. Number 9. All right. So I went with someone who I believe is a great actor and a great performance. That's Killmonger in Black Panther. I did think that maybe number 9 was a little high on the list. Maybe he should actually be a little lower. The reason I put Killmonger at number 9, in my opinion, is awesome villain. I think that Michael B. Jordan did an incredible job, but they kept him in one movie. They kept him in one situation.
Yeah.
And so I think there was opportunity to sort of do more, but since they kept it kind of tight, I think that there are villains who've had a larger impact. But the thing about Killmonger is just he's so fucking ruthless, and he shoots the girl who's helping him with this plan. He and his partner turn on each other. Of course, his partner's a racist piece of shit. We always knew that would happen, but Killmonger is one of the most ruthless killers in the entire Marvel universe because of the way he turns on people that are close to him, or people that are or should be his family, and he kills them like it is nothing. And I mean, the name is Killmonger. It makes sense. And I just thought he did a great job. I love Black Panther, to be honest. I just think Black Panther is a badass movie. It's one of my 3 or 4 favorite of the entire Marvel universe. I just fucking love Black Panther, and I thought that his portrayal was dark.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those movies, Black Panther, that I like I told you, like off camera, that it's one of those movies I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch. Probably before my daughter leaves, I'm gonna watch that movie with her. Killmonger, he's one of those. We talked about it like a little bit before with the Penguin. He has a point of what he's trying to make. You know what I'm saying? Like he wanted them to use the vibranium to go ahead and and help out other Black people around the world. You know what I mean? Because the struggle that we have, especially what's going on in the United States and stuff like that. Use that to help help them. But T'Challa, keep all the vibranium to himself. And be the I guess it's Black Panther had to step in and say no, that wasn't cool. I just thought he was badass, dude. Killmonger. Fucking nuts, man. And the way he, killed without regard.
Yeah.
Like and killed his partner, no problem. It's just I think he relies on himself to carry out that mission. He don't trust anybody.
Yeah. No, that's true. And you make a good point too about with the political climate of the world that we're in now. His, what he says about, I woke up and I found panther claws on my father's chest. He had been turned on by Wakanda as well. And so it's, Wakanda has done everything they can to build themselves, enrich this wealth, all these things, but they have not done everything they can to help the world. And not that it's necessarily their responsibility to save the world, but there are people of color all over the place, and they're in the middle of Africa, allowing them to starve. It is an interesting thing, as you hear my son screaming, making his first appearance on the King Doc podcast. I just think, he's incredibly ruthless. I think it's badass. And I think that he's one of those characters. That's why I just think they could have done more. I would have loved to have seen more from him than just one movie.
Yeah, agree. I'm gonna do. Hold on, we have a comment. Says the character was awesome. I wish they, were still around. Yeah, definitely. Me too. I definitely do wish Killmonger could have definitely stayed around a little bit longer in this Black Panther universe. You know what I mean?
I just think they could have done so much, but it is what it is. He wanted to do one movie. Maybe he did one movie, but that's what it'd be.
Number 8, Bane, Dark Knight Rises. Bane was just a badass, bro. Bane was a badass from like everything, like even his introduction, that introduction scene with him being on the plane and they thought he was somebody else and him just coming out of nowhere and being him. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was pretty dope, bro.
That movie, I hate Chris Nolan now because he purposefully kneecapped the last Mission Impossible movie. I could go for hours on that. I won't, but well, he was mad that Top Gun did well and Tenet didn't, so he kneecapped Mission Impossible with Oppenheimer, and I'll never forgive him. The thing about Bane is that it just felt so real. That was the thing about Chris Nolan's Batman, was that everything felt so real, and you could just feel the idea of this sort of terrorist who was created by American oppression, in some foreign country rising up. And obviously it being a white guy doesn't necessarily make sense in that case, but because we don't bomb white people, remember, of course. But nonetheless, the point is it felt realistic. And when he's in the football stadium and he blows it up and you're watching Hines Ward run from the thing, and Bane was just terrifying. And I couldn't get over that. And I remember we talked about before the New Orleans Superdome, the Super Bowl, when the power went out and everyone was like, here comes Bane. It had literally that level of a cross culture impact. That was exactly. A Super Bowl and people were talking about Bane.
Bane is definitely he was such a badass in that movie, bro. Just, I don't know. And then he doesn't end up being like the main villain, which is kind of let down.
Yeah, I didn't but I was very surprised by it. I didn't see it coming at the time.
Yeah, me too.
So that's one of those things that twist I didn't see coming. So I'll give him that. When it does suck when she orders him to stay there and die, and he just does it. And it's
no, this dude carried the whole movie.
Yeah, it's like, yo, he's the.
You say it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on.
How dare
this
you?
was your plan. Well, why you go down with the ship? I did my job. I'm trying to.
No, he did his job. Why does he have to die? So
I should go to. I need at least a week in Four Seasons Maui. Come on, give me a break here. Exactly. I deserve a little.
Come on, he definitely deserves it. He definitely deserves it. What you got? Number 7.
Number 7 is classic, and we're gonna go to an R.I.P. Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor in Superman the movie. Number 1, rest in peace to Gene Hackman, one of the greatest actors of all time.
Absolutely.
It seems that his wife killed herself after she found him dead. Horrible, sad situation, terrible. Nonetheless, one of the greatest actors to ever grace the screen. And the reason that I put Lex Luthor here is because I feel that Gene Hackman brought to life the idea of the evil billionaire. I think that what we're seeing with Elon Musk today is an example of Lex Luthor in Superman 1.
What we saw in Vince McMahon in the WWE, WWF is definitely Lex Luthor.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think that he took that from, the pages of a comic book where the idea that, one man in a company could have so much power, and he brought it to life, and it has become reality, unfortunately. But, just the realness of his character in that movie, I don't know. I just fucking believed him as Lex Luthor. I always did. Oh, yeah. And I'm not even a big Superman guy, but to me, that was an iconic role. To see him in a comic book movie again, it's amazing when you get these dudes to do these roles, and I just think he killed it. So
yeah,
R.I.P.
Absolutely, man. Definitely, as you say, he's one of those guys. He becomes so enveloped in that role that you just see him as that person. Sitting in that. So he's not Gene Hackman in Superman. People refer to him as Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
You know, in Superman, he's Gene Hackman everywhere else, and in French Connection and Hoosiers and stuff like that. But he's Lex Luthor in this movie.
And everyone who has tried to play that character has done their best to try to play it as him, and it's never worked.
Exactly, it never works. It never works. Especially when he goes bald, and they're all like, "No, it's like you're forcing it."
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I don't like that. I don't like that.
Always forced. I agree completely.
Number 6, Magneto. I have to put Magneto here. He's one of those guys that are trying to do something good. He's protecting the mutants. Would he feel like he's protecting mutants? But I guess he's going about it some weird ass ways. I'm not sure, but I like Magneto, and then plus he's also inspired off a personal hero of mine, Malcolm X.
Yeah, that's an important part of Magneto's history that people don't realize is that's the craziest thing that, like, when people are like, God, why is X-Men woke? It's X-Men's literally about the civil rights movement.
It is.
Like, you got to pull your goddamn head out of the sand if you don't know that shit. Like, and not only that, but in the Patrick Stewart version, not only is it about the civil rights movement, but they also use part of it to, frame events in, Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
And so, again,
he's a Holocaust survivor.
Right. And so that fuels understanding of why he would want to purge people that want to purge him. Like, it's taking real world events and then folding in the superhuman. And the X-Men movies are really good. Like, they've honestly been done very well. I'm very interested to see how, the MCU sort of eventually folds them in, because they've been done. A lot of them are so good. I don't know how you recreate them. I don't know how you tell the same story again. And especially because you're never going to get the quality of actor, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, all these things, like, the X-Men movies were dope.
They were.
So
they were really dope. Yeah, I just think like with Magneto, definitely one of those definitely misunderstood villains. You know what I mean? I think he gets a bad rap. You know what I mean? He's definitely a lot of now that we're learning like other stuff about his backstory, a lot of it makes sense of why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, Magneto is one of those characters that feels like in another universe he's an anti-hero,
right?
Not a villain. You know what I mean? Like his status as a villain is sort of determined by his situation. It almost feels like.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's not just pure evil, but he's fucking ruthless. It's
ruthless.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The one when
sometimes you have to be ruthless.
Well, when he breaks out of jail by, pulling the metal out of the dude, that one, oof, man, that was great scene though. Like,
fantastic. All right. Got number 5.
Number 5. All right. So this one requires a little bit of explanation, but lucky for me, I can talk a lot. And that is Kang the Conqueror. Now, let's be clear. We are talking about the characters here, and we are not talking about Jonathan Majors, the person. Jonathan Majors, the person, is a piece of shit who beat the hell out of his girlfriend for no goddamn reason. And I am not even necessarily talking about only his portrayal of Kang the Conqueror. I'm talking about the character of Kang the Conqueror himself, who, knowing that there are multiverses, created the Time Variance Authority to destroy every other universe that exists so that there could be no other rise of Kang. That character is badass. The entire creation of the TVA and where they were going to go with Avengers Age of Kang was going to be fucking awesome. That is now gone and has been replaced with Avengers Doomsday. And Robert Downey Jr. agreeing to $80 million to come back to play Dr. Doom, which is going to be good. But I really did want to see where they were going to go. I was very, very interested in the Age of Kang movie. That was something I was really hyped for. And so it sucks that Jonathan Majors has to be a piece of shit, but you know what? That's how life goes. But the character of Kang in his whole story throughout the Marvel lore is fucking badass. And it's too bad that it got erased from the movies in this way. They could have just recast him. I don't know. It's just these things occur sometimes. So it sucks how that went down, and he's not a good dude. But the character of Kang the Conqueror is legendary in my mind. So that's why. And again, I went with Order of Impact. Yeah, that's where I got here. So that's where I'm at.
You don't have to explain. You don't have to. I get it.
Well, hey, it's important though because because
You got
it
to
is
provide
one of those
context
things you can
sometimes.
separate art from artist
Yeah.
sometimes, and I think
Yeah,
in this
I mean,
case you
it's
can
weird because we
sort of
just
do
did
it, but
that
it's
with
still a piece of shit.
Lex Luthor, and we was like, oh, it's all about Gene Hackman because it was really about Gene Hackman, and he was probably the most like he was the best Lex Luthor there was out there.
Yeah.
I guess that's but okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
It's just hard to separate art from artist when the dude's a piece of shit. I get that,
Right.
but it's like I still love the character, so I don't know
Right.
what to say. So there
Right,
you go.
like I don't know if I would. Man, I haven't listened to R. Kelly's music in forever. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't listened to any P. Diddy music,
Well,
you
and
know
see,
what I'm
that's the thing. It's like one isolated event where you made a horrible mistake and you were a piece of shit versus years of trafficking people is different.
It's completely
Like
different.
maybe Jonathan Majors can grow and learn. I mean, unless this is something where he just did it a million times and only got caught once. I don't know. I don't know every single detail of this dude's life.
Right.
So
I get
it's I'm not trying to speak on everything. I'm speaking on the character of Kang the Conqueror.
Gotcha. Number 4, Loki from the Avengers. That dude was just so mischievous. He was so mischievous, it was cool. And I kind of ended up like wanting to root for him, but he was also like kind of a little asshole, so where I couldn't root for him.
And I love that portrayal. It's fun when you have characters that are like, oh, I hate you. Oh, I love. Hey, that. Oh no, and you can't figure it out because that lends itself to not always knowing where things are going. And so I appreciate that level of, and I agree with you. I think that's what they brought to this character, and it's just so funny because what's Loki is the god of mischief, and it's like, appropriate the way they did everything.
Like, because he does like everything, like, even how he got the what is it, the Tesseract? Is it Tesseract?
Yes.
How he was able to acquire it and just grab it and take off into nowhere at the end of Endgame. I was like, wow, what the fuck?
That was
crazy, but it was also like it was. I wondered like, why didn't he do that the whole time?
Yeah, and that's the thing about Marvel is that's the one thing about Marvel is it gets so intricate. It's like they have to write so many little pieces just to explain all those things. It's truly amazing. But yeah, Loki's a badass character too.
I watched the beginning, the first couple of episodes of the show that came out on, was it Max or Disney Plus?
Yeah,
with Loki, the series. Gotta finish that.
Yeah, definitely. It's absolutely. Owen Wilson's so funny in that show. I mean, Owen Wilson's great and everything, but it's funny seeing him. It's funny seeing people who you wouldn't really see in a superhero universe put in
pop up in a super
right, and because he's like he's like an office worker, like it's a different way of looking at him. He's a cop, but still.
Exactly.
Number 3, I think this is going to surprise some people that I put this in number 3 because I would think a couple of people would. I'm going to assume a lot of people might think this would be number 1, but number 3 is Thanos. Thanos is, I mean, look, he acquired all the Infinity Stones, put them in the gauntlet. He was the most powerful dude in the entire universe, snapped everyone gone. We know everything about Thanos. And I think that the one thing that keeps him from going even higher in this list is just that he was either not aware of or unable to do anything with the multiverse. And that, Thanos was the highest threat within this one universe that we live in within Marvel. Yeah. And that's great, but there's other things. And so while, I loved Endgame, I really did. And in retrospect, I enjoyed it a lot more on rewatch than I did. The first time I watched it, I was really mad that Iron Man dies. But so on rewatch, I really enjoy it. And it makes so much sense. And I do just think, I think Thanos is just one of the greatest villains. And when you rewatch all the MCU movies and you see the little glimpses with him and the conversations and discussions here and there, in Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that, it's a lot. It's really entertaining when you watch it all back to back and you have it all in your memory and you can remember everything. It really is quite entertaining. And I mean, Thanos erased half the fucking universe. He's a great villain. So
yeah, but once again, he was one of those villains that had a reason for doing so. And in fact, he did that, and he went on vacation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My one thing about Thanos is that in the comic books, the reason that he destroys half the universe is because he wants to impress the physical manifestation of death because he's in love with her, which is a much more badass plot line than him being essentially an eco-terrorist. and saying like there's too many resources used. Like, so I wish they had gone with that plot line, but
we're gonna run out of fresh water.
Yeah, it's they're like this. They're like, this is what happens if the Green Party gets too powerful.
I know. What do you? Yeah, exactly. Like, how do you pick though? Can you pick? I don't know if you can pick. I don't know if I want to take that gamble because, like, what if I'm on the other side of that gamble? What if I snap and I'm gone too? You know what I mean?
It's possible. Yeah. It could have. It could have happened. It didn't, but it could have. And the worst part about that scenario is if the gauntlet goes with him, then they're fucked.
Then they're fucked. Yeah, for sure. They're all screwed.
Everybody dead.
Everybody dead.
Well, half of everybody dead.
Half of everybody. Yeah. I don't know. Property value. I mean, I'm saying property value might go down. You may be able to afford shit.
Gas now I have a Bugatti, motherfuckers.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
My neighbor.
Exactly. And my barber died. So like, I would never ever have a haircut.
I don't have debt. That debt, my neighbor signed it all away right before he disappeared. You didn't hear about that? I got the paperwork right inside.
Right here. Number 2, The Joker, The Dark Knight. Rest in peace, Heath Ledger. The best incarnation of the Joker I've ever seen since probably Jack Nicholson. I think, so this is like I would say, but his portrayal of the Joker was like so much more of the way the Joker used to be, so it was when I would read the comic books, you know what I'm saying? Like just gritty and he didn't care, you know what I'm saying? He really didn't have a purpose of like, there was no method to his madness. He just loved the madness. So like, I just, yeah. Joker number 3.
Joker is pure evil. Joker is pure evil. And I felt that Jack Nicholson's portrayal was too comic booky. And that Heath Ledger's portrayal was right on. I think Heath Ledger's Joker is like the most terrifying fucking thing.
Oh yeah. I hate that.
Like it's a movie and it makes me uncomfortable to watch. Right. Like the level of evil displayed in that movie is so ridiculous. It's crazy. And
like, I wouldn't be afraid of Jared Leto's Joker. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't be in places where he'd be at. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just it. I wouldn't hang out in any, Turkish clubs. I don't know, I'm sure what kind of clubs those are, like techno clubs. I don't hang out over there. So it really ain't gonna affect me.
Jared Leto's Joker is a fucking juggalo, man. I ain't scared of that motherfucker at all. Fuck that dude.
Like, dude, back away. Who you think you are? You're not Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that shit was weak, man. And I mean, Heath Ledger, that shit was dark. Dude, it consumed him. Like, and it's sad that, I firmly believe, I don't think that he killed himself, but I think that he was in a state of depression. Yeah. Because he stayed alone in a hotel room by himself for a month, writing the thoughts of the Joker in a journal before filming this movie. It's just like, yo, don't do that, man. Like, but the commitment to the craft is what made him great. But I just remember like when that came out and like it, because it was posthumous and everything. Like, that shit was crazy. And full disclosure, that was going to be my number 1. Yeah. So and even though he was only in one movie, the impact was that great.
We're talking about, talking about the impact. What is your number 1?
So number 1. So I had to think about it for a minute, but then I realized that there was an answer that was pretty obvious because of all of the events that we've discussed so far, and that is the Scarlet Witch. And that is when she goes evil, because we know that the Scarlet Witch begins as a superhero and even helps them defeat Thanos. But in Multiverse of Madness, actually, in WandaVision, we see her go bad on the show where she takes over the entire town, enslaves the entire town, has them all wrapped up, and then eventually becomes completely wrapped in the character of the Scarlet Witch. It takes over her. And then the Multiverse of Madness, she's literally traveling different universes trying to find a version of herself with her children because she's obsessed with the idea of this. And it's the Scarlet Witch is built on ancient magic that is like, millions of years old, this thing. And I believe, based on all the things that I've seen, that she's probably the most powerful character throughout the entire Marvel universe.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks. And so I just think if she can destroy entire timelines of universes, we're going with her at number one.
You know what? I agree with you
good.
with that for that simple. I haven't seen that that particular film with her being a villain, but I can imagine her being a villain. Oh my god!
I apologize for the spoilers, but
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So I'll still watch it, but
it's worth it.
I can imagine. I can imagine it. You know, so definitely, definitely somebody will have to check out. In a second, or that was number one. So, hey man, you got any last minute plugs or anything? You know, what I'm saying you gotta get out.
I am working on.
Gotta be overtime.
Yeah. I am working on a 10-hour episode of the Blunt Doctor Show. That is correct. 10 hours.
Yes. Crap.
I have been working on this episode for months, perhaps a year at this point. It's been in production for a very long time. It's slow coming. I am working on it, but we are drawing to a close and it will be available soon. And it's going to be ridiculous and nobody will listen to all 10 hours of it, but I'm doing it anyway. So that will be available soon at bluntdoctor.com.
That's what's up, man. I can't wait. Can't wait. Definitely want to check that out. I don't know how long if I can get 10 hours to listen to it. I'm listening to
that's like
knock it out in like
parents. You don't have 10 hours of listening time.
No, I don't. You know, I mean, I could probably listen to it on the way to work, and you know, what I mean, it would be my commute thing. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure.
For about 3 years.
Yeah. Shout out to Truth Be Told Sports Podcast. We just celebrated our 5th year as a podcast. Check us out on Friday. We will be back Friday. Hollow Point and I will be, we're doing our normal thing back in the, so for a new episode of Truth Be Told Sports Podcast. Website still coming along. Merch will be out for that very soon. Maybe some King and Doc merch will be on the way. We don't know.
That's a good idea.
We'll figure that out too. But make sure you guys.
I would definitely wear a shirt with this logo on it.
That's 100%, dude. Like a hat or a hoodie or something like that. I love hoodies, so it definitely will, look good in my collection of hoodies, for sure. With this logo on it. But make sure you guys are subscribed to us. That's checking us out here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube. I can't talk right now. That's why I'm sipping so much of this juice. So good. But make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, click that notification so when we drop new content, you'll be notified as well. Shout out to the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network for allowing us to come here, giving us the platform to come here on Facebook, on Instagram, on we probably have a TikTok pretty soon. So make sure you follow us on all those platforms, okay? You got anything, bro?
Like, subscribe, follow Elite Sports Entertainment. We appreciate you, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Peace out.